Okay, this is the second grand group discussion of April 14th batch. Today, along with GD, there are lecturate topics. Each and every student will speak on new education policy and they will get the valuable feedback from our experts. So I hope this grand group discussion and lecturate session will help them to clear Air Force Extended and Whited exam and also to clear SSB for NDA and CDS entries. This experience will definitely help them to clear all the group discussions, to clear all the lecturate sessions and adaptability test 1 and test 2 of Indian Air Force. So each and every student are participating and each and every student are bound to speak on the topic. So I hope this session will help them to boost their confidence and will help them to participate in all the competitive exams ahead. Thank you very much.
In 1947, two countries got independence, India and Pakistan. 75 years later, today Pakistan is in total chaos and mess. It is going through the biggest crisis it has ever seen. And on the other hand, India is on a rise in every sector, you name it, education, agriculture, foreign trade, etc. One of the key reasons for India's exponential growth is education. India have a well-developed education system. As compared to Pakistan. Yes friends, today my lecture topic is New Education Policy 2020. Basically the New Education Policy 2020 changes the 10+2 system to 5+3+3+4 system. The new education policy also aims to increase the gross enrollment ratio in school education and higher education. It also aims to increase the public investment in the education sector. It follows a holistic approach to education by focusing on overall development of the student. It recognizes the importance of social, cultural, economic, physical development of the student. It encourages the adoption of a flexible, multidisciplinary approach, allowing students to choose subjects from various disciplines, not restricting them to specific streams. Now, along with the advantages, there are also some drawbacks. The policy was introduced in 2020, but since then we haven't seen an effective implementation of the policy. It has faced some logistical, administrative challenges. To conclude, I would like to say that it is very fashionable to say that the education system is broken. It is not broken, it is very wonderfully constructed. It is just that we don't need it anymore. It is outdated. We might make some minor changes, but I think this education system has created some genius minds and it does not need any major changes. Thank you.
Education is the most powerful of our country and in our life. It is the highly necessary in our life. So Nelson Mandela education is the most significant to every people and to grow and improvement. So today's my topic is New Educational Policy 2023. New Educational Policy 2023 majorly refuses 10+2 structure, which is replaced by 5+3+3+4 model. No state language is imposed to students, or to students are to take the board examination twice instead of 1.7%, and the government of India will spend to 6% of the country's GDP on education. So will the new educational policy be implemented in 2023, and what is the 5+3+3+4 model in new educational policy, and what is the benefit of the new educational policy, and what is the educational policy of CBSE in 2023. So the preparation of a new educational policy is the our countries in schools and college, so that under the purview of the national educational policy, which is very developing, and similarly basing on the students will spend 5 years on the literary subject for fundamental fundamental stage, and 3 years are the literary states, and another 3 years are the learning in the middle stage, and financially 4 years are the financial stage. So what is the beneficial of the new educational policy? It is beneficial of the new educational policy of will be improved our read and write and intelligence quality of the students. And at last I concluded it, the education is the backbone of the society, and it is highly implement of the human society. Lack of education is the our create various social numerical social problems like poor people, people's poor health and poor living education. So that poor living education is the people's help the overall many problems. So that which is a highly effectable and dangerous of the people and society. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
A very good afternoon to all present over here. Today, I am Keti Pawan Sai. We are standing before you to speak about the national education policy. So first, पढ़ो लिखो और तब तक ना रुको जब तक अपनी मंजिल प्राप्त न कर लो. So friends, yes, today's my topic is the NEP, the National Education Policy. So friends, first thing, what do you understand by National Education Policy? It is basically the 10+2 structure is replaced by 5+3+3+4. So I give you the full information about that. So first, the first education policy were passed in Karnataka. So friends, what is 10+2 structure? The 10 is that the first standard to 10th standard, and +2 structure is the 11th and 12th standard. And now friends, what is 5+3+3+4? 5 is a 5 years foundation course for children. It is a 3 years. 3 years students will go to school and only they will play in the school, and 2 years there is a first to second standard. They will go and they do not have to give any exams. So friends, there are also lots of things about this NEP new education policy. So friends, at last I want to say you that national education policy and this policy is nothing, because we don't need, because we can prepare by ourselves, but it is a government thought that it is the policy for good for all. But I think, in my opinion, the education policy is not important for us. Thank you. Jai Hind.
In the world, and it is the passport to the freedom. So friends, today my lecture is new education policy. So friends, the National Education Day is celebrated every year 11th of November. Is the memory of our first education minister Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, who was the first person who designed our education system. That was 1965 when our first education policy was introduced. After this, in 1986, this policy was changed in another time. Then in 2019, a panel by Krishna Swamy, he submitted their reports and variable discussion were held, and the new education policy was finally passed. In 20 July 2020, the new education policy was finally passed. This policy is very different and interesting in many ways. This policy is this education system has been changed 10 plus 2 to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, starting from the preschools. We thankful to our government to take such a courageous steps in your education sectors, a part of the world-class education facilities. Our government is also planning to in education to increase the GDP 4% to 6%. At last I conclude my lecturate. The new scheme is born in many ways, and it aims to focus on the creativity and development of child's interest. It is the perfect for the 21st century and gives a vision of education is the future. Thank you.
Education. What is education? Education is itself a weapon which will help us to conquer the world. Our National Education Day is observed on 11 November in the memory of our first Education Minister, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. Our first education policy was introduced in 1968, and further it was changed in 1986. And at last our new education policy was sanctioned by the government of India in 29 July 2020. In this new education policy, the education is not about only gaining knowledge from gaining bookish knowledge. It is all about acquiring knowledge from other various sources of information. There is no barrier of language for students. Every student are free to learn in their mother tongue up to class 5, and the students will have the freedom to.
Hello everyone, the new education policy aims for universalization of education from preschool to secondary with the level of 100% GER in the year of 2030. Everyone known about the new education policy. The government of India, the new education policy treat on 2020 July 29. About the new education policy is known as the founder and the builder of nation education system. The new education policy may have many features like 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 education system. It also comprises the 10 plus 2 education system, and the 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 system is divided into many types. That first 5 year, that for the primary structures, then it divide also, then last 4 is for the secondary stage of education. Then is principle of 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 education, that it grow the knowledge of the children and also the thinking power, and it also lead us to how to use technology and revolutes. Then it strive to take the country that has a global knowledge superpower country, and also it is the students of university and colleges to multidisciplinary in the year of 2040. It also help for us employment, and it also help for us a fundamental and strongly education system. In my point of view, the education system or newly education system is very profitable for us and to our country. Thank you.
Encourage enlightenment. This is the motto of new education policy. The Union Cabinet of India was started new education policy on 29 July 2020. It is a comprehensive framework for elementary education to higher education, including vocational training in both rural and urban India. Its aim is to develop the India's education by 2030. On the 1st August 2020, the Information Bureau informed that according to Unified District Information Education, over 28 languages are used in teaching and learning in grades. The new education policy discussed with many major educational institutes all across the country. The 10+2 structure replaced the 5+3+3+4 model. Through it, in fundamental stage, for the 3 years of preschool and Anganwadi classes followed by 1 and 2 in preschool. Also, like in preparatory stage, classes 3 to 5, it will gradually introduce subjects like physical education, languages, arts, mathematics, science, speaking, reading, etc. The midday meal scheme will extend it to including breakfast. Instead of 1.7% of country's GDP, the government will spend 6% of country's GDP to success the policy or education system. In this way, the new education policy will improve the reading, writing and understood ability of the students. At last, I want to say that नई शिक्षा नीति देश में करेगा साकार ज्ञान, योग्यता और रोजगार. Thank you. जय हिंद.
गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन प्रेजेंट ओवर हियर. शिक्षा जीवन के आधार है, इसके बिना सब बेकार है. The new education policy has announced by the central government of India on 29 July 2020. After 34 years, such a new policy has come which will truly change the direction of education system in India. The new education policy has the potential to change the India, to give the Indian education system a global identity. It aims to fulfill the goal India's Sustainable Development Agenda 2030, under which everyone will get equal and quality education. The best feature of this education policy is that students will given vocational training from class 6 onward, by which they will provide they will promote employment and build a knowledge based society. The NEP is aiming to raise the quality of education offered by most of the institutions. Students who will receive such education will not be employable but also have the opportunity to be an entrepreneur. It will not wrong to say that if this policy will implemented properly, it will prove to be an ideal education policy. At last, I will conclude my lecture with this word: education is liberation, knowledge is power. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Subham Baraha. My father's name is Srijukta Srikant Kumar Baraha. My mother's name is Pinky Baraha. Yes friends, today my topic is new education policy. New education policy has been sanctioned by the government of India on July 20. It is to bring the change in the new education system by making efficient the learning process by enhancing student learning abilities and creativity power. India aims to deserve a vision for new educated India. The government of India is trying its best to introduce the education policy by changing the objectives, whose main reason is to make the India as a empowered nation. So friends, it is all about us, how we implement the policy in our day-to-day life to make India more efficient in the field of education. For education today, a tribal lady can become the supreme commander of Air Force. So it proves that education is the most powerful weapon in the world which can change the world. Thank you.